Okay, I think we're live.
That it exists in terms of something that's interconnected inside of the game.
I've been kind of following this drama here recently about Ashes of the Creation, and I watched this whole video, watched all the response. I love the fact that Asmongold and his viewership ended up being the courtroom in which this was kind of played out in. But I figured I'd make this video, and I want to make this video specifically for you, Steven. I highly doubt that you will end up seeing this, but I figured I might as well make it. I got my mic fixed. I attempted the other day when I'll start going down just to make a video quickly of me going to the desert and kind of showing it, since I had never been, and it would be my first exposure to the zone anyways. But I started started this video because I just kind of had some things on my mind, and I just want to get these just put it out there for you. I doubt you'll see it, doubt anyone will see this, but if you see it, then this is kind of just my thoughts from a regular gamer's perspective, someone who's testing it, someone who sees the drama. I don't have extensive knowledge of the development side of games, but I am, a very, very avid 15-year proud MMO RPG player, and I've been watching Ashes for some time. I watched Narc for some time. He was a, fun content creator to watch. I watched pretty much all of his videos. I'll just say this, I just kind of, here's something simple. I went to ChatGPT and I asked, explain what alpha test of a video game is. I pretty much just had it lay out. I says, one of the questions that I asked was, is it reasonable for a developer to pay gate alpha access to possible future players to establish the testing team? Absolutely. You know this, I know this. This is absolutely natural. I feel like it's something that people are like really up in arms about, is the pay gate of this. And, I kind of just went through, this is just me chatting with myself, me and AI. And there's just some very interesting things. And, after going through all this, what should a tester do if they become frustrated with the state of a game that they paid for in access? And it really, dude, every single thing that I'm reading here through this chat GPT, is right on par, dude, with how you've handled yourself, what the development team at Ashes of the Creation has been doing. I feel like all these points from a gamer standpoint, I feel like are absolutely right on par with how the Ashes team has handled themselves. And look, I'm not spinning on it, I'm not riding it, it's nothing like that. At the end of the day, it's a video game to a majority of people, but it's much, much more than that to you. And being someone who is heavily leveraged into my own companies, and understand the seriousness of all the livelihoods at stake with Ashes, I think that that's where the gap exists within the role that you take and the role that someone like Narc has, which is, someone essentially whose job is to make content. I'm not undermining that at all, but he works for himself, and someone who has the livelihoods and responsibilities of 200 employees. And when you look at that contrast, it's easy to say, well, you shouldn't even be dealing with this guy. You shouldn't be communicating it. And I said in my last video, um, there's one thing that people are not really understanding about your approach to this video game is that you you treat all these people, these testers, the gaming community built around your vision as investors. And as investors, it is your obligation to engage and talk to, not obviously not every single every single person who has a key or has access, but um, I think you take that role very serious, and there's a lot of respect to be had for that. I think, you know, just kind of looking at the fact that um, he did this. I mean, from a gamer standpoint, from someone, dude, I'm level 9 in Alpha 2. Like, I play it, um, running around. I'm doing some stuff. I got some gear. I'm a tank. Um, I'm enjoying it. I understand. I kind of weave, Alpha 2 weave with some other games. And, because y'all are building it out, I'm not Pirate Software. I'm not any of these really hardcore guys who are, you know, on this stuff every waking moment. I wish I could be. It's just, I have other gaming obligations. I have other, um, business obligations. But, from my standpoint, from not to ramble, but from my standpoint, and I think the standpoint of a lot of other people that are playing and enjoying the access, I think it's pretty clear as to what Narc did. And what he did was burn out. I mean, he burned out and then he crashed out. And then he tried to use the leaving of the game. I mean, running a subathon, dude, it's pretty loud and clear. Running a subathon just to leave the game, I mean, it's going out with a blaze. It's, burning the bridge on the way out. That, I think, and there are people like that out there. I mean, there's one interesting thing that came up, just talking points here. I'll make this quick because if you do see this, I know this is all played out and it's already, probably hit its top and is going to fizzle out. But here's the things about it engages highly committed testers. This is pay gating. I mean, I think this was the whole thing here is that you're releasing content within an alpha, which is pipelined through some process, and really, I think, yes, the money obviously helps the project, but I think more so, I can understand that it really pay gates the environment, and it lets the people who are really committed to testing this thing step up to the plate and test it. And there's risk and challenges, that come from this. And this is Chat GPT. I mean, it's pretty easy to see what happened here. And I think another thing that's interesting point, he really didn't, make a huge stand on this. I mean, it did pretty well pretty quick, but I think, a lot of people have already went elsewhere to get this and to get this story, and not a lot of people have gained. He hasn't gained a lot of ground from this. So, um, I hate to say it, but I think it's just a failed crash out, and that's just from one gamer to the developer. I know that you love kind of finding these more obscure conversations and engaging with them. This is my attempt to do that from a long-time MMO player. I think you're building something great. I think you have a huge challenge ahead of you. I think you know all of that. I think that you're extremely well versed and you're able to communicate many different aspects of this game development. You're not just a CEO who hired a bunch of game developers. You're a fucking game developer, dude. And you communicate that, and you communicate it to people who are engaged in game development. That's what us testers, people who are, call us gamers if you want, but there's also like a level. I think this is the big point I want to drive home, for anybody else who may accidentally stumble across this video, is that, you know, you're alpha testing someone's game and building a platform off of it. Um, I'm not saying that you need to spin on it. I'm not saying that, you know, you need to brown nose the development teams. I know that people have been burned, but, you know, you have a responsibility as a tester to handle the state of what you receive content wise in a constructive way. If not, then you're just someone who is toxic and is using reasons that, to get mad about something. I mean, you're just using this game as a reason to get mad about something, and I think a lot of people can see that. So, you know, that's all I got for you, man. I know, there's a lot of comments. I think that, you know, naturally, this type, you're building a community that might be small in retrospect to the greater MMO community. But I think that you're going to receive a cult following. I think this is the first indicator of, this game and your team and what you're building filtering out the people that it's not meant for. And that's that, dude. I mean, I think continue on. Narc, I wish you, if you see this, doubt it, but if you do, I wish you the best on what you do, man. But, you know, honestly, I think you're really good at creating content. A um, you have a style, and I think that it will find itself a home. And I hope in future situations when you have a voice and platform and devs who are interested in what you actually have to say, that you use that platform and you use that relationship to continue to better the game. And if it gets frustrating to a point, I agree with a lot of people, you know, you just gotta step away, man. You gotta step away for a little bit and maybe just leave it at that. The funny thing is, I really do believe that if you just made a video saying, hey, I need to step away, things are not, to my liking right now, and I have some quarrels with the development team and transparency and communication. I think you had in front of you a development team and a game dev lead who would have listened, you know, and you chose a different route, and that's unfortunate. But, good luck to y'all. Looking forward to seeing everything else that's come out. Y'all do a lot of overhauling. It's crazy to see how much overhauling actually takes place. And you know, good job on you for leaving the servers up and giving your dev team the time off while leaving the game up for everybody to play. Launching it before Christmas, the phase, leaving it up and letting it ride, and then coming back and grinding at it. And I think that, you know, if Narc, if you would have waited a couple weeks, I think you'll be surprised at what comes down the pipeline. That's all I got. Best of luck. See y'all in Ashes.